Welcome you guys back into my next video. You must understand every single day that if you're nice and beautiful every single day with yourself, you're going to understand you have to coach people. You have to push yourself to coach people. You have to understand every single day you have to manage yourself. You have to understand your health is important. You have to understand that if you want more energy, you have to look into yourself to find it. You have to understand that if you have less time in life, you have to make more time. You have to understand that if you have less health, you have to make more health. You have to understand that most of the world today never cares about you, and they rather choose other people over you. I mean, is that simple? I mean, guess what? I'd rather choose I over everybody. I understand, although that what's important is if you choose the best direction, I promise you it's your direction. You understand? So every single day, if you understand that no matter what, that if you plan ahead every single day and you focus on a greater life for yourself, you're going to understand that you have to do your work on the go, and you have to be able to go and deliver. You have to be delivering your nice, beautiful content regardless of what's going on, and then me making sure every single day that you're coaching people in a different way to make sure that you're pushing your content out there as much as you can so that you can go and prosper yourself and grow yourself along the way so that you can learn new ideas upon videos and upon strategies to make sure that you're growing yourself in every single way possible, but making sure you're always double checking everything. You must double check, is your door open or not? You must understand every single day to focus upon understanding that if your door is open, you must understand to open all doors all the time and leave it open so that you can welcome people all the time, and realize to never ever be afraid about people stealing your stuff. So if you understand every single day that, for example, myself, I bring my nice beautiful shoulder bag with me because I understand it's valuable. But everything else I understand that what's important, although I'm much more valuable than my shoulder bag. I understand although that if I choose to leave my shoulder bag over here and somebody picks it up and runs away, I'm not sure, although I still understand I have my word I still understand I still have myself. I'm still much more valuable than anything I have. So because I do that, I understand anyway that I do go and bring my shoulder bag with me anyway, because I understand either way that I want to go and value my stuff even more, where I can go and deliver the content that you need every single day so I can help God and so I can help everybody understand this video, for example, because it's part of my shoulder bag. In a sense, every single day that if I bring my shoulder bag, I realize my videos come with me. So it's that simple. I mean, every single day you must understand that I'm doing it for a greater purpose, and every single day you must never ever stick to stuff. You understand? Because stuff comes and goes. I mean, money comes and goes. But if you understand, if you understand every single day that if you go and give deposits, for example, and you go to hostels and motels and hotels, then I realize they may say, hey, you have to give us a deposit to make sure that if the room is dirty or whatever, that we're going to take your money because you made the room dirty, for example. So you give them a deposit, and then if you return the key to them, I realize, or if you keep the nice beautiful room clean or something like that, I realize they keep the deposit and they return it to you. In a sense, so every single day, focus on understanding that nice beautiful deposit comes back into your bank account after 14 days. And either way, you must understand that you're better off making sure that within 14 days or after 14 days, you must understand that the bank says the bank says that within 14 days that they give you the money back in terms of the deposits. But guess what? I realize sometimes they keep it. You know, I realize they never return it. In a sense, what you need to do is realize that you have to call them every single day to get the deposits money back. You know what I'm saying? Because when you understand every single day that when you give money, you never get money back. You know what I'm saying? But what you do is you just make sure you never have to give the bank money. You know what I'm saying? You give yourself the money first, and then understand every single day to have always 120 bucks in your pocket. So if you're going around Australia or the world around you, so that you can go and realize that you go and give the cash deposits. You understand? Because then they open the till and they give you the cash deposit right away back. You understand? Because otherwise it goes through the bank processing and it can take up to 14 days for you to receive your money, or never. You understand? So either way, you must understand that what's the point of that? Actually, all you do is you go to the bank and you always have 120 bucks in your pocket. Understand? Actually, it's much better for you to like yourself all the time, but making sure you're always understanding that no matter what, that you go and do that for yourself, and then understand every single day to go and be strong about yourself and be strong about what you're doing daily. So if you're focusing on yourself and your content and you're regarding yourself in a high way, you're going to understand that no matter what, you're going to succeed. You're going to follow your heart. You're going to understand every single day to go and check out as much scenery as you can for free, and then understand every single day that you have to start creating those events for yourself. So for myself, for example, I have to go to Sydney now so that I can go and start really building my events around Sydney, because I understand that traveling now, I mean, what's important for me is that I travel, but I travel in front of people now. In a sense, so what I do is I go around the world traveling and doing live events over traveling alone, for example, because I've been traveling alone in Australia for 2 years now, and I can see the lifestyle. I can see the lifestyle. I mean, it's a lone road. I mean, nobody's following you. I mean, there's no woman around you. I mean, there's no people around you other than the people who are in your accommodation center, for example, in terms of hostels and motels and pubs and bars and all that. So either way, you must understand that if you have a pub and bar next to you, you have to understand either way that you never ever drink alcohol, but make sure you understand to stay away from people altogether. But then what you do when you stay away from people is you go toward yourself, but then realize that long term, you have to go toward the crowd to teach them. In a sense, what's important is realize that at pubs and bars, you sometimes also have a motel, for example, where you have to understand it's a hotel as well on top of the bar or pub. So either way, you have to understand either way. I've been traveling like that around Australia, but I understand it's never the way for me anymore to go traveling alone without public speaking, you understand, and without, let's say, doing live performances. So what I want to do is I want to go around people now, and even if it's Sydney area and I've been living there for ages, you understand, I never care about that anymore. I care about just going around teaching people much more and more and more, while charging them to get some money from them for my coaching services. Now, if you understand how I do this, is I go and really call them up. For example, I call a workers club, I call an RSL club, and then what I do is I make sure to charge people at the door or the entry of that place. So before they even see me, they have to give me money, and then I come up on the stage and I give a talk, and then I go. I then collect half the money, and I give 60% of that money to the government, and I keep 40% of it. I love that. Now, every single time, if you understand that, for example, that no matter what you're doing, you have to understand you have to go and make money legally. So if you understand that you can make money, for example, I mean, go and give it to the bank and understand that the bank will process it, and that's your tax return. In a sense, so what happens is you then go and get your tax return, and what happens is you'll collect that money back. In a sense, so every single day, focus upon understanding that no matter what you're doing, you go and really, really pronounce yourself much better, but never get money back. I mean, never go get money back. I mean, just go and grab your 40% of the money that you have, and then go and really, really deliver a greater life for yourself. And then, because what's more important than money is your communicational skills, and understanding that if you get money back, I mean, if I give you $10, I mean, never come back to me to give it back to me. Understand? I mean, make sure you go and give it to somebody else. You understand? Because I gave it to you. I gave it to you. I mean, understand? But guess what? I mean, that's how it is. I mean, if I give you $50, I mean, why you give me $20? I mean, why? I mean, give it to somebody else. Understand? Because why? I mean, guess what? I deserve your money too. I deserve your money. But what's amazing is I gave you $50. You want to return me $20? I mean, keep the $50. You understand? I mean, in that sense, so what's amazing is understand that it's nice and precious for you to give money. You understand? I mean, it's nice for you to do that as a token. I mean, but your communicational skills is my token. I mean, just because you say I love you to me means a lot to me, and it means more than $20 that you give me in return. You understand? So what's amazing is if you give me plastic money, I value the words I love you more than your plastic money. You understand? I mean, that's it. I mean, if you choose to give me $1 billion, I'd rather choose to get the nice, beautiful I love you message than the $1 billion. You understand? I'm rushing out every single day, focus on understanding it's more about words than it is the money. You understand? So every single day, money comes and goes. I mean, money is made easily, as Tony Robbins says. So why is it made? I mean, why is money made easily? Because I realized before, in terms of life, you have to understand because. I realized because you have to understand that the money that you make, you have to understand you make it at live performances. You just increase your talents, you increase your communicational skill to do something great, and then go and give a live performance on it. And people are going to be with you, and you're going to entertain the people. And you're going to make money at the door. I mean, isn't that simple to make money like that? And you can make $10,000 per hour like that. I mean, in that sense, so you can make over millions of dollars in one night. I mean, it's so simple. You just invite people to a festival. You understand? I'm very sure it's that simple. But every single day, focus upon understanding that you have to summon up the skills to do that. So it may take you up to 6 years. I mean, you have to invest your time every single day. You have to invest your time in yourself. But then you have to talk in a greater way also. You never steal. You just make sure you're always taking your time in a way that you're delivering yourself a better message. You understand? Now, if you understand how to talk much better, You have to understand, then you can do anything. But you have to focus upon understanding that if you want to be able to do 3 hours of life coaching every single day like I do, you must understand, although, that it's really that kind of routine that you need. You need to understand that there's much more to it than just a 3-hour life coaching video. In a sense, so every single day, it's much more what's happening behind the scenes of how I can do a 3-hour life coaching video every single day. In a sense, what's my schedule? What's my disciplines to be able to do 3 hours of talking all day? You understand? Watching that every single day. Now, you must understand that's consistency. And being able to be consistent about it is a schedule. But there's something happening behind that as well, which is traveling, and it's also journaling and quote writing and music production, you understand? And being happier and disciplined and staying sober and being a vegan and eating better and drinking and sobriety, and then understanding to help people as well. Having conversations with people around you understand? So you have to plan and plan and plan and plan. You understand? You have to groom and shower as well. You understand? So every single day you have to go and get some shopping. You understand? So you have to do your daily tasks. But guess what? I'm still here doing my 3 hours of coaching every single day. You understand? So every single day, no matter what, I'm trying to push myself into it. I'm trying to push myself more and more. Because what happens when you push yourself to talk more, you can then do 30-hour weekends coaching people. You can talk for 30 hours on weekends. Friday and Saturday and Sunday, you can book around the world like Tony Robbins does. And then 8 hours a day, you're just speaking all day long. You understand? Guess what? You can do it. I can do 3 hours a day. Just add another 5 to it and voila. In front of people. That's even more, isn't it? I'm speaking 3 hours on video like this, but Tony Robbins does 8 hours in front of people. There's a big difference. You understand? But guess what? I can do the same thing as him. I can do it too. It's very easy to do it. Unfortunately, it's very easy because I can communicate. In a sense, so every single day, that if you focus upon understanding to make these big events around yourself, and understand that people are going to really be blasphemous, and they're going to lie, and they're going to be hypocrites. I realize they want you in a 9-to-5 job. They want you in a 9-to-5 job because they're so miserable. And they're going to say, hey, you have to listen to the government. You just listen to yourself. You understand? You listen to yourself in your heart. But what happens then is when you're working a 9-to-5 job and you're more successful than them in a 9-to-5 job or whatever it is, they resent you again. And then they say, hey, you must never do that. You must do this. You understand? Guess what? I realize they want you to be unhappy. I never want you to be unhappy. I want you to be happier. I want you to understand every single day that you're going to focus on your life and go and do something much more than them and everybody. Because regardless of who it is, they're trying to make you unhappy. You understand? That's what people do. You understand? People are trying to make you unhappy. People are trying to criticize you negatively so that you never lift yourself. They may say, hey, that you have a broken leg, and guess what happens with people who have a broken leg? You must understand, I never have a broken leg. You may have a broken leg, or you may have an illness, you may have a back problem, but then the doctor says you'll never recover. Why are you even telling me that? Why are you telling me that? Why are you telling me those words? Why don't you tell me something much better than that? You say, they get cancer, for example, and guess what happens? The doctor tells them that they're about to die. Why do you say that? Isn't that the worst thing that you can tell somebody? You understand? They have no positive information to give people, these people, in terms of the crowd. And they just go around telling people what stupidity is. You understand? Unfortunately, although guess what? You have to teach people. But what's amazing is they are just negatively criticizing people in a way that it's never amazing to criticize people negatively. But I understand that what's amazing is understanding that your life must be positive. You understand? So these people who are negatively criticizing is people who just want to bring you down. And as I understand that the amazing thing about life is understanding that you just never bring yourself down. You must understand that these people who want to bring you down are talking all these stupid words about you, and they cause drama. And why is that? Because they're worse than yesterday, and they're never developing, and they're never improving their mindset. And regardless of how much you succeed, they deny your success. They cease to exist in your life. They never even want to follow your success. You have more success than them, and they never even want to follow you anymore. How does that work? You want to follow me when you want to follow me because of the drug addict behavior I had before. That's when you want to follow me, because somehow I'm beneath you. is it? I mean, drug addicts rather follow people who are less than them in life than follow somebody who's much more successful. I mean, how's that possible? I mean, how do you work that out? I mean, if you have a level 5 success over here who's a junkie drug addict, I mean, they rather follow a 2-level drug addict. You understand? I mean, a level 2 one. I mean, this one's a level 5. I mean, level 10's the best. You understand? I mean, level 10's me, for example. I'm level 10, but then the drug addict is level 5, but they rather follow the level 2 drug addict. I mean, how do you even work that out, man? You understand? I mean, those are the women out there. I mean, they rather follow a level 2 drug addict than a level 10 man like me. I mean, how does that work, man? I mean, they're unaware. You know, I mean, they're unaware about who's successful in life. I mean, they deny your success. I mean, they say, "Oh, I mean, big deal. I mean, Daniel Vojtic. I mean, he's going around the world. I mean, big deal, man. I mean, big deal, man. I mean, yeah. I mean, what would you rather do in life? I mean, would you rather sit at home all day long? I mean, what do you want to do in life? I mean, so go and focus on your life much greater, and focus on understanding on how to really lift yourself, so you can understand that I'm here supporting you. I'm here lifting you. I mean, understand? I'm here lifting you more than your husband is. I'm lifting you more than everybody in life. Understand? I'm giving you more ideas right now. You must understand I'm telling the truth. I mean, every single day, focus upon understanding that if I tell the truth, you shall also understand that you reap rewards from my ideas, and then I understand to give that freely, because I understand that no matter what, that the crowd never wants you successful. I mean, they want to criticize you. I mean, they want to say that you're going to die very soon. I mean, they want to say that your broken leg will never recover. I mean, they say that your eye is stupid. I mean, how is that stupid, man? Understand? I mean, they say that your hair is a stupid flaw. I mean, how is that possible, man? Understand? I mean, they're stupid idiots, aren't they? I mean, they say that you're one skin in terms of how your skin looks. I mean, they never accept you because of your skin, man. You understand? And those are the people in the planet. You understand? I mean, because you have one certain nose, you have a certain nose, which the woman will never go for you because of that nose. I mean, because you have no 2 centimeter bigger muscle than the other guy. I mean, she never goes for you, man. Because of 2 centimeter muscle. You understand? I mean, guess what? I mean, forget them. I mean, forget those guys and women. You understand? But what you do is understand. Or what you do is understand. You go into yourself, you go and love yourself and know the word I only. I never know the word I only. Understand? I watch now every single day. There's so many stupid people on the planet that you have to understand that 99% of them are resentful and jealous. I mean, is that simple to understand? And how do I understand that? Because they're never following Jesus Christ like I am. You understand? I mean, they're ignorant people, and they're people who are just looking worse than yesterday physically. I mean, they're fat, and I mean, fat's good, but they're fat in terms of overweight and obese, and that's good. I mean, that's good. I love that. But what's amazing is understand that they're unaware about life. I mean, their communicational skills. I can tell by their communicational skills. I can tell they look like a walrus. I mean, they look like an elephant, man. When they never want to listen to somebody who has a 6-pack in life. I mean, they look like an elephant in terms of weight. I mean, they never want to listen to somebody who has a 6-pack. I mean, you understand? Or they rather listen to someone who looks like Godzilla. I mean, you understand? So every single day, I'm always going into the word I. So every time I say, I realize it's more that you understand that no matter what, you go and really focus upon your life. You understand? You go in yourself and focus upon understanding that the word I is everything. I mean, if you understand how to come back to the word I, you can motivate yourself to go and do greater. You understand? Because every single day, people are like that. But what you need to do is focus on yourself. I mean, forget them. I mean, women, they chase guys who have alcohol. I mean, wow. I mean, big deal. And then their family supports a drug addict over me. I mean, is that correct? I mean, guess what? I mean, either way, I mean, go have a drug addict family. I understand? Because guess what? I never need you guys. I understand? I mean, guess what? I mean, just because it's just me and my family, I mean, you pick a guy who has 20 members of the family over there instead of 1, and who has 1 family member. I mean, 1 beats 20. You understand? I mean, you have to go around hanging around with 20 people over there, while with me, I mean, it's just us. I mean, how good's that? I mean, we never have to hang around with 20 people. You understand? I mean, me and you get to travel to Greece and Spain and everywhere around the world because it's just us together. Understand? But they, I mean, because they have a freaking big family of 50,000 cousins in one little area of Sydney or wherever, I mean, they go for those people. I mean, they run toward them because they have a big family. I mean, big deal. Understand? And guess what? I mean, when you understand who's growing in life and you understand who's successful and who's more successful than the crowd, you never go for the opposite of that. I understand that people, in terms of women and men, are going for egotistical people who are at the bottom of the food chain. You understand? I mean, they're at the bottom of life. I mean, they're going egotistical. I mean, they're going for people who are even more unaware than them. I mean, why do you go for people who are more unaware of you? I mean, go for people who are more aware than you. I mean, isn't that simple? I mean, a woman runs after a man who is a drug addict over a sober man. I mean, how does it feel in life? I mean, why do you want your kids to be drug addicts? I mean, how does it make sense? I mean, your dad was a smoker. I mean, is that why you go for a stupid fat idiot who is a obese stupid idiot? I mean, guess what? I mean, is that why? I mean, is that why? Because he's a smoker and a drug addict, and that's why your kids are gonna be that as well. You understand? I mean, guess what? I mean, you deserve better. You deserve better. I mean, guess what? I understand that no matter what, that if I say something, I'm never offending you. You understand? I'm never trying to offend you. I'm just using words over here. I'm just using abbreviations. You must understand, although, you must focus upon understanding that if you go for anything that's ugly in life, you then become ugly. You understand? I mean, never go for ugly. I mean, go for something pretty. I mean, go for something beautiful. I mean, shoot for the stars. I mean, understand? I mean, go to the galaxy somewhere. I mean, stay there and forget the people. I mean, you're God. You know what I'm saying? I mean, go live on the moon. I mean, go live on the sun or something. I mean, go and understand if you live in the sun and live in gravity. I mean, focus on understanding on how you can talk to yourself. You laugh at yourself. But you laugh at yourself to laugh with yourself. You never try to hurt yourself. You understand? You make sure every single day you're unlocking your power. I mean, try to swim on the moon, for example. You understand? I mean, try to call an alien up there or something. You understand? Because guess what happens? You call yourself only. You understand every single day that if you're going to call somebody, you call your friend who is you. Because there's nobody else out there. There's nobody else out there that's going to help you. You understand? Only you can help you. You have to understand that. Nobody else is helping me do this video. I understand, although, that my nice beautiful elastic band with my nice beautiful microphone is just on top of the camera over here. And it's a video camera. That's my phone in terms of my Samsung A51 Galaxy. And I have also a Samsung A21 Galaxy. I also understand that I place a nice beautiful selfie stick. And then I place my nice beautiful elastic band. And I go like this. And I bend it over my nice beautiful microphone. And then the elastic band holds the microphone at the top of my selfie stick like that. And then what happens is I pull the microphone to the left side and I pull it over the top of the selfie stick that holds the camera. And then what I find is that the elastic band holds it tightly in terms of my microphone straight pointing at me. Understand? So every single day, that if you focus upon understanding that if you live your life much better, you're going to understand that no matter what, that you go and really give people ideas really quickly so that you can go and prosper and be abundant and be rich, and then go and find yourself free, fast Wi-Fi and go around the world traveling with free Wi-Fi every time. I mean, do you understand? But if you have no business, you then are looking to steal people's time. You understand? I never need you to steal people's time. I need you to add time to people. I mean, if you're adding time to people, you're then adding time to yourself. But if you're stealing people's time, you're then stealing your own time. You understand? I mean, what you do to others is what you do to yourself. You understand? So you have to understand that life is a ping pong game. I mean, if you have a table tennis, nice beautiful setup in your house or something like that. I mean, if you ever seen have you ever seen a table tennis table? And have you ever played table tennis? You must understand that if you have done that, you then understand that you flip over the nice beautiful table halfway and let's play ping pong. I mean, guess what? I mean, the harder you hit life, I mean, the harder that ball is going to hit you. You understand? I mean, guess what? I mean, if you smack the ball, I mean, that ball is coming back really fast. You understand? I mean, that's life. I mean, if you play gently with life, you get gently back. I mean, if you play kind with life, and you hit the tennis ball kindly, and you just keep doing it like this and play consistent, you understand either way, you're going to be kind and consistent like that, and you're never going to lose. You understand? Or if you want to learn how to play sport, you play slowly. You understand? You play slowly first. Never try to rush anything. Or if you want to learn table tennis, you go slowly. You try to do it as slow as you can. You try to do it as slow as you can. You hit. You understand? But guess what? You do it 1,000 million times. And then guess what? I mean, eventually you get faster and faster and faster. You understand? So that's the practice. I mean, how do you learn tennis? You slowly hit it. You slowly hit the ball. You slowly hit it. You slowly hit it. I mean, how do you play? I mean, how do you play? Let's say the bowling. I mean, you slowly try to do it. I mean, try to do it slowly. You understand? I love that. Actually, I mean, have you ever understood those people who play bowling? I mean, they run. I mean, they run to hit the ball. I mean, they run to actually throw the ball, and they do this, and they hold on to the actual pinball in terms of the bowling ball, and they fly into the actual thing. I mean, they're flying as well into the nice beautiful pins over there. You understand? I mean, they're holding the actual bowling ball while they're trying to throw it. And then as they throw it, I mean, they're holding on to it, and the actual bowling ball is holding on and dragging them all over there. And they start flying onto the floor over there. You understand? I mean, that's what happens when you're doing it fast. You understand? I'm pretty sure when you hit the ball really quickly onto the freaking wall and it smacks your face, I mean, you understand how that feels? You understand? I'm pretty sure now every single day, focus upon understanding that no matter what you're doing, you have to go and be much better than that. You understand? I'm pretty sure now every single day, focus upon understanding that if you want to learn fighting or any type of sport on the planet, you have to do it slowly. Realize if you want to do free kicks or AFL or anything, you have to do it slowly. Or else if you want to train physically, you have to do it slowly. I mean, there's no fasts. You understand? I mean, every single day, focus upon understanding. Every single day, you're going to do something great. You're going to make sure that you're much more courageous. You're going to understand every single day that running and doing athletics and muscle building is a slow process. I love that. I promise you every single day, and no matter what, that if you go and do fast, I mean, if you're doing everything fast today, I promise you now, you can only ever do it fast if you're so professional. You understand? But slowly is the best way. I mean, if you just do it slowly, you have no injuries. You learn it fastly. I mean, learn slowly. You understand? I mean, if you learn slowly, you eventually understand how to learn faster. I mean, if you do it slowly, you eventually learn how to do it faster. I mean, if you speak slowly to people, you eventually learn how to talk faster with yourself and everybody. And so every single day, I'm focusing upon understanding that I have to go into you to teach you how to live life. Because that's how I teach myself. But if you understand every single day, there's always more to give. And there's always more ideas that you can go and prosper with. But I understand that what's important is understanding that you need to prosper your courage. And now courage is what makes money. As Grant Cardone says. So if you want to be important in the eyes of people, you have to be more successful. I promise you, otherwise, they never listen to you. I mean, regardless of what you say, man. You understand? So if you understand that if you're never successful as much as your friends now, I mean, guess what you do? You never hang around with those friends anymore. You understand? Because they'll never listen to you. I mean, they'll never respect you. I mean, they'll never be with you. You understand? I mean, they're never following you. I mean, you understand? So why do you want to be with people who never want to follow you? I mean, what for? I mean, why do you want to be with people who never want to call you first? I mean, why do you want to be with people who are fake to you? I mean, guess what? I mean, if you are never successful than the people who are next to you right now, I mean, guess what you do? You leave the crowd right now. I mean, leave them right now because they are the ones who are negatively criticizing you. You understand that? I'm pretty sure they're the ones who are more successful than you, but guess what? You need to find more successful people than them. Understand? I'm pretty sure they are the ones who are lifting you, but you need to find anyway something better than them because it's always better than them. I mean, there's always a better crowd than them. Whereas now, if you're the smartest person in the room, and there's people worse off than you in the room, you are in the worst room. You understand? Because what happens to those people is they start negatively trying to criticize you and they're trying to put you down. You understand? So that's Theodore Roosevelt's nice, beautiful quote, I believe. But I understand, although, you must understand that either way, that if you're the smartest in the room, you go to where the smarter people are. And forget the stupid room. You understand? I mean, go to the smartest room, where all the smarter people are. You understand? I mean, be the one who is learning from even smarter people than you. You understand? You must be understanding that's you only. I mean, guess what? I mean, I'm in the room of stupid people in the planet. You understand? I promise you, I'm the smartest one in the world right now. I promise you, I'm the smartest one. I mean, where do I go? I mean, guess what? I never want to be with anybody else except I realize now that's my actual key point right here. That if you're the smartest person in the room, you have to understand now to be the smartest in your life and forget other people. I mean, understand? I mean, forget being in the other room with other people. I mean, never be with them. Because what they do is they try to negatively criticize you while they're talking to you. But what they're saying is never adding up. I mean, what they say with you is never adding up. So if it never adds up and the words are never adding up, I mean, it's a lie. I mean, it's a fake facade. I mean, they're just fake to you. I mean, they're fully fake in your eyes. I mean, why do you want to be around those people when they're never adding up to the equation? I mean, if you add up to the equation, you gain integrity. I mean, they never add up to the equation because they're hypocrites. I mean, they're liars. I mean, they're cheats. I mean, they're murderers. I mean, they're serial killers. Of course, there's many of them. I'm pretty sure 99% of this world is serial killers. You understand? Because they're unaware of it. You understand? I'm pretty sure they're fake in front of your face. When they say something, but they never mean it. I just seen a lady. I'm pumping my music over here, and she's giving me this nice, beautiful smile. But again, I mean, guess what? I mean, I understand that. I respect that. You understand? But guess what? I turn and I walk her way. And guess what happens? I mean, she turns away, and she's starting to walk somewhere else. You understand? But guess what? I have an opportunity here to go and talk to her, for example. And she's smiling at me, for example. But guess what? I'd rather focus on I. I never need to talk to her. But guess what? I mean, that's it. I mean, she's going her way, I'm going my way. But she smiles at me first. I mean, why? I mean, why didn't I talk to her to try to get in her pants? I mean, why didn't I talk to her to try to be married with her? I just met her, man. I mean, you understand? I just met her. I mean, guess what? I mean, she's never even my type. You understand? I mean, she's never my type. Because she's never running after me. I mean, she's never asking me questions. I mean, she is never trying to be curious about my life. I mean, why would I even run after her? You understand? I mean, that's it. I mean, if you're curious about me, and you really, really try to get me, I'll be curious about you, and then you're going to get me. It's that simple. For those people who are so interested in you, for those people who are so curious about you, are going to get you eventually. You understand? Now, how? I mean, how? When you get so successful, you get anything you ever want. I mean, I'll rush you. Now, every single day, I see many guys have these women. Many guys have these women in their lives. I mean, what you do is realize you just have to have yourself. You have to have better than yourself. You have to understand every single day, and no matter what, that you are everything. You have to understand, although you never focus on them and what they have, you focus on what you have only. If you focus on what other people have, you then have to have even more. You understand? Because if they have more than you then have to learn from them about how to get what they have. You have to be their student. You understand? So that's how it is. You understand? So if you're never a student of this life, and if you're never learning about life itself, and how to maneuver your way throughout life, and how to travel throughout life, and how to be independent and interdependent, in terms of interdependent, I mean, if you're never learning how to groom yourself and nutrition and learning and being able to be more spiritual and teach people on video camera today, I mean, how do you expect to be successful today? You must understand that what's important is I have over 700 videos online right now, and it's over 700 hours of video content. I mean, understand? So my friends from the past, I mean, guess what? I mean, they're never around me, but guess what? I mean, they have no success in terms of YouTube. You understand? I mean, no success. But guess what? You must understand that a couple of them may have a YouTube video here and there, but nothing really like a life coach scenario where they can give you some words in those videos. I mean, there's no words in those videos. I mean, what kind of life coaching is that in life? I mean, Jesus Christ came here to give you some words. I'm just honest about that. You understand? Although, guess what? I'm the only one out of 50,000 of them that I've met in my past. For sure. I'm the only one that's done 700 hours of videos and more online. You understand? So, either way, I'm more successful than the crowd around me. You understand? But guess what they're doing today? I mean, they're watching me, but they're slimes. I mean, they're hypocrites. I mean, they're lies and cheats. I mean, they talk bad about you. I mean, they talk negative about you. I mean, they start to criticize you negatively because of your actions and because you said something. And they say, why did you say that? I mean, they say, never say it again. I mean, they say that to you, you know? I mean, they say, never say that word again. Because if you say that word, then, I mean, they may kill you, man. In a sense, so, I mean, they're trying to control you. I mean, they're trying to take over. I mean, they're trying to dominate your words and your presence and who you are. I mean, they're trying to make you feel small in the presence of everybody. In a sense, so if people are trying to make you feel small, it's because they're that small in life. I mean, they're like a little pebble. You understand? I mean, they're like a little peasant. You understand? My little peasants coming after me to teach me about life. You understand? Guess what? I can only teach myself about life. I mean, how can you teach me? I mean, how can you teach me about life? I mean, how? I can give you ideas. I can give you ideas about life. I mean, how can I teach you? I mean, how can I teach you? You can only teach yourself. You can never teach me anything. I mean, no matter how much you give me ideas, you can never teach me those ideas. I can give you all the ideas of the world. I mean, that's still never teaching you. I mean, that's teaching me how to give you the ideas. You understand? When I give you 50 billion ideas, I have to communicate that. But then, guess what happens? I just boost my income by a billion ideas. A billion more ideas on how to be more successful than you. Because I gave a billion ideas to people while you are yet to start. I'm much smarter than you a billion times. You understand? I mean, guess what? I mean, that's how it is. But guess what? I mean, if you never grab one idea from that billion, or if you never grab one idea from that billion ideas that I gave you, I mean, guess what? I mean, how do you expect to be successful? You have to grab one idea and you have to apply it to your life. Or it's that simple. But I'm just doing my content daily. I understand Gary Vaynerchuk and everybody in terms of my mentors are all now actually becoming more successful than ever. But guess what you have to do? You also have to be more successful. Understand? But what you do is find out that Gary Vaynerchuk is more in front of people today, and that's why he has 8 million followers. I mean, he's more in front of people than most people. Understand? I mean, it's that simple. When the guy's 43 years of age, and he's around people 100 times for 100 hours and more. You understand? I mean, he's always collaborating with other people. You understand? So you have to be in front of people. I mean, it's that simple. But if you're working online with people, you can also. You can also work with people online if they ask you to. You understand? But what's important is understanding that every single day, you're going to focus upon lifting people. If you're lifting people, you have to lift yourself only. And then eventually, you're going to show up physically in front of people. You're going to show up physically in front of people. And now, when the teacher appears, the student is ready. You understand? That's it. Now, as soon as you appear to the people, you already have the money, you just go and give your contents. So, for example, with myself, I do 6-hour life coaching events around people, and I charge money at the door. I mean, just for me. Understand? So, either way, I mean, there's no musicians around me. I mean, there's nothing around me except I'm just teaching people. But they already gave me the money. I mean, there's no pitching you on the day. You just give me money on the door. I mean, before you even see me. I mean, if you never want to give me $100 to see me, I mean, guess what? I mean, go away. I have no time for you. You understand? I need some money. So, to even see me, and to even step foot, to even shake my hand, you have to give me some money. You understand? So, no matter what, I mean, $100, is that it? I mean, guess what? I mean, it's a start. I mean, that's a start. I charge even more than that. You understand? Well, now, the more richer I get in plastic money, the more you have to give me in plastic money to see me. Well, that's how it is. You understand? So, either way, I mean, if you can never afford it, you can always afford it online. I do it for free anyway. I mean, understand? But you never ever can step foot in front of me then. you can always step forward. You can always see me in real life if you have some money. You understand? I'm pretty sure you can do anything. I'm pretty sure every single day focus upon understanding that now, for example, with my business cards, I make sure to give people the business cards for free because they never even want to ask me for my business card. I'd rather just give it to them like this. You understand? I look professional. I gave over thousands of business cards to people and they never even gave me one. I mean, to the people I gave business cards to, I mean, there's been a few. I mean, less than 10 people gave me their business cards. And guess what? I gave over 3,000 and less than 10 of them gave me their business card. You understand? So, guess what? I mean, what are on those business cards? I mean, one individual is doing a photo shoot with people and he's actually building attention online. I mean, the other ones, I mean, never really caught my attention. I mean, out of those 10 people who have the business cards, I mean, they never even caught my attention except that one individual who has a camera type view where he's a cameraman and he's just shooting people in terms of shooting with people in terms of the camera, and he's just going around Sydney and Australia and the world doing these nice beautiful acts of courage in front of people where he's approaching people to get them to do something for him with the camera. I mean, that's it. I mean, he is at least more successful than those people. You understand? I mean, he has more followers than me too. You understand? But guess what? I'm much more smarter than him. I'm doing much more video work than him. You understand? Whereas now he's successful as a cameraman. I mean, he'll teach you camera ideas. I mean, you understand? But then I understand either way that he's going to teach you about business very soon as well. I love I all the time that I'm making sure all the time that you go and focus upon your life. But what's amazing every single day is speak your heart out. I mean, when you speak your heart out, you'll find something very honest about yourself. You'll find a better road. You understand that every single day you have to go and get yourself the best maneuver in the planet. You must understand that sometimes you may have a certain amount of money, but get on the plane to go to the free accommodation around your area so that you can be safe and never homeless as well. I mean, if you have 14 days to be at a hostel, but you can only afford 5 days at the hostel, I mean, guess what? You are in trouble then. You understand? I mean, what do you do from that point? You make sure you're never in trouble, but get yourself to the free accommodation center right now. I mean, where's the free accommodation right now around you? So that you can still have 5 days of free money, for example. And then guess what you do? I mean, go and do something greater from that point. You understand? I mean, never be homeless for another 7 days. You understand? I mean, never be homeless for another 8 days or 9 days. You understand? So, never try to get homeless. I mean, never try to be homeless. So, calculate your money and finances daily and make sure you're always loving yourself. I'm always loving I. I'm always making sure that no matter what you're doing, you have to be more conscious of how you maneuver your hands around so you're never hitting objects. You understand? I mean, never hit yourself in your objects. You understand? I mean, make sure you understand that you have to always get the information. You have to read, you have to study what people are doing around the world. But you have to be focusing on you and your content and what you're doing. You understand? You have to understand every single day that people are doing their life. I mean, everybody's doing their life. But you have to go and do your life. You have to understand. I mean, every single day I'm doing a lot of content online, so you may never have time to watch me. You understand? So what's going to happen is I'm going to continue my life without you. You understand? And that's it. I mean, you're just going to follow me throughout time. You're going to see a video here and there. But guess what? I mean, to watch every video, I mean, I understand either way. I only know the word I. So you may even watch every video. You understand? So guess what? You just focus on yourself. You understand? You focus on making sure that no matter what, I'm just giving content. You understand? I'm giving content because eventually I'm stepping up in front of people and I'm just famous. I'm famous in front of people. I mean, everybody wants to see me now. I'm a big time player now. You understand? I'm 28. I mean, that's it. I mean, I have another 72 years to go. But I see many people on the bus today, and I'm traveling from Port Macquarie to Coffs Harbour today. And guess what? I'm in Coffs Harbour now. I'm pretty sure, although I see many people at the roundabout and driving. I'm pretty sure I see these people who are always going to work on 9 to 5, for example. You understand? I just see many people working on a 9 to 5 job in those scenarios where they never look like they're going to surprise anybody. I mean, they never look like they're going to prosper. You understand? I mean, middle class people who are working 9 to 5 jobs, who are never studying, and who are never actually learning anything about life, really. You understand? I understand, although everybody's learning something about life, but I understand that when I just get that feeling that I'm just more successful than people, and I understand why, because I just do more than them. I'm doing more social media work than those people who are driving at the roundabout today. You understand? I just understand that. I'm doing more work than the planet. I I mean, of course, I'm more successful than them. You understand? So for them to even have that kind of work ethic that I have is something incredible. You understand? So I understand Jesus Christ can do anything. You can do anything. I mean, everybody can do anything. So so what you do is focus upon yourself to grow yourself all day, but focus on understanding that if you have fatigue and if you have confidence issues, or if you have anxiety issues, or if you have any type of problem in the planet, you must go to you. You must go to you. You must find the answer. You must understand that you must never do it in your head. You must write it down in the paper. You must write all those ideas down, and for every single problem that you have, I mean, write a list of 100 reasons on how to solve it. I mean, guess what? I mean, now you're a billionaire. I mean, if you can just do that, and for every single problem that somebody gives you, you write a list of reasons upon how to solve that problem. I mean, that's it. I mean, guess what? I mean, do it in a video. I mean, do it in an audio. I mean, do it in a writing material. I mean, do it in a quote. I mean, solve those problems. I mean, the more problems you solve, the richer you are. That's it. You have to be a problem solver. You understand? For sure, an entrepreneur is a problem solver. In a sense, so I problem solve. I'm always problem solving my problems because I have no problems anymore. I'm always solving those problems. I'm making sure that you have a problem in life, I solve your problem now. I mean, what's your problem? You remove the problem. You remove the problem. I mean, money is your problem. You remove money from your life. Why? I mean, why do you need problems for? I mean, why do you want to remove money for? I mean, what for? You said? I mean, guess what? I mean, that's how it is. I mean, your girlfriend's your problem. I mean, remove her from your life. I mean, never talk to her again. I love her. I'm saying your kid's your problem. You're blaming your kids. I mean, never have kids anymore. I mean, since you're blaming your kids, I mean, why do you have kids for? I mean, why did you make kids? I mean, never have kids anymore. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's it. I mean, your job is an excuse. I mean, guess what? I mean, never work the job then. I mean, never work that job if you're making excuses about it. You're hating that individual? I mean, guess what? I mean, never hate them in the first place. I mean, so every single day, focus upon understanding that if anything you have in life, you must understand that people understand, for example, that they are drinking alcohol and they want to quit, but they never quit. I mean, they say it's very bad. I mean, why are you drinking it for? I mean, what? I mean, who's stopping you to drink it? You understand? I mean, guess what? I mean, nobody's stopping you. But guess what? You must understand every single day. I mean, go and focus upon loving your life. I mean, if you're always drinking, and I've seen one guy recently at the Port Macquarie, and this guy wakes up at 8 o'clock in the morning, and he's already pumping 2 Jack Daniels cans, man. I mean, Jack Daniels cans. I mean, 12% alcohol. But either way, I mean, 1 drop of alcohol is too much. I mean, the guy's already at 8 o'clock in the morning drinking alcohol and beer, man. I mean, what's up with you, man? I understand? I mean, guess what? I mean, alcohol and drugs is never going to solve anything for your life. I mean, who wants to listen to a drug addict in life? I mean, guess what? I listen to you. I listen to you. Understand? I listen to everything. I'm curious about everything. I'm curious about life. I'm curious to understand your story. I want to understand your story. I mean, everybody has a story to tell. I mean, everybody can teach you something. So I'm always open to learning from everybody. Understand? But if you're going to teach me anything really, I mean, you have to outdo me. You have to understand you have to do more work than me. But doing drugs and trying to outwork me, I mean, you'll never ever outwork me if you're doing drugs. You'll never do more videos than me and more content in this world than me if you're smoking cigarettes and doing drugs. You never stand a chance. You understand? You must understand you stand a chance to do more than me. I never die. But what's amazing is I'm sober. I mean, sober wins over a drug addict. You understand? I mean, always. I mean, you may have a wife that's so beautiful, but she's a drug addict, man. I never need a drug addict in my life. You understand? I never need a drug addict of a woman. I mean, she loved the wine. I mean, they make little excuses. I mean, they make such little excuses, and they say, hey, I mean, it's just a little bit of alcohol every single day. I mean, just a little bit. I mean, that little bit is a whole wine bottle. You know, I mean, that little bit that they say is 5 wine bottles later. You understand? I promise you. You understand? So, I mean, they say anything to you to just drink a little bit of alcohol. I mean, they say anything. And they try to romanticize about it. You understand? I mean, I met a woman at the Adelaide casino and I asked her, why do you gamble in life? And she said that she enjoys it. I mean, you enjoy wasting your time. I mean, she says, I mean, that she doesn't consider that a waste of time. Obviously now, you're sitting at a blackjack table and you're losing money and you're gaining money. I mean, what are you trying to find about life over here? I mean, she says that she's there for experience. I mean, how many times have you done that? All that. I mean, she does it many times. For example, I mean, she says, I mean, she's always been doing that. I mean, yeah. I mean, how many times do you want to lose and win the money, and how many times you want some dealer to give you blackjack, for example? You understand? I mean, guess what? I mean, you understand? I mean, that's boring, isn't it? I mean, the people at the TAB of Australia, I mean, just watching horses. I mean, they're watching horses race. I mean, isn't that boring? I mean, isn't that boring for you? I mean, when you're watching the UFC as well. I mean, isn't that boring for you to watch? I mean, the guy kicked him, man. I mean, guys, you have to watch this. I mean, Conor McGregor's gonna smash him, bro. I mean, look. I mean, what's so big about that? I mean, the guy's got in the cage, bro. I mean, he's really punching him, man. I mean, doesn't that sound fake to you? I mean, isn't that fake to you? I mean, what's so good about that? I mean, what's so good about Conor McGregor punching on somebody? I mean, what's so good about Conor McGregor punching somebody else in life? I mean, does Jesus Christ watch that? I mean, does Jesus Christ sit on the television to watch the horses race? I mean, guess what? I mean, once. I mean, one time. You understand? I mean, Jesus Christ can watch everything. You understand? I mean, Jesus Christ experiences one time everything. You understand? But only what Jesus Christ experiences. You understand? I mean, people repetitively go to the TAB to watch the UFC. I mean, Jesus Christ can watch it one time. You understand? I mean, everybody can watch it one time. But then, if you're always going to the pub every single weekend to watch the UFC, I mean, how boring is that? I mean, you've done it more than once. I mean, you watch it 50 billion times. You watch all these different fights. I mean, isn't that boring? I mean, my biological dad sits 12 hours watching the screen like this. I mean, do you understand? I mean, the guy just loves the horses, man. I mean, guess what? I mean, every single day, man. I mean, Foxtel, brother. Understand? I mean, he's gonna learn something from those numbers, man. You understand? I mean, that's how it is. I mean, 12 hours every single day. I mean, guess what? I mean, there's somebody else that's worse than him, man. You understand? I mean, how you do that, man? I understand either way that it's true. You have to understand. I mean, watching 12 hours, I mean, Melbourne Cup, I mean, guess what? I mean, people look forward to the Melbourne Cup, mate. I mean, guess what? It's March, and they're looking forward to November coming up. I mean, November? I mean, what's happening in November, mate? I mean, the Melbourne Cup. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's 7 months away. I mean, 7 months away, mate. I mean, what are you doing today, though? You understand? I mean, are you going to live up to 7 months to even watch it? You understand? I mean, they love the horses so much, bro. You understand? I mean, you love horses so much. I mean, why do you love... I mean, guess what? You have to love everything. You understand? I mean, every single year they're like that. You understand? I mean, they want to watch the Melbourne Cup in Australia. I mean, they want to watch all these horses. I mean, they want to watch donkeys every single day. You understand? I mean, you want to watch donkeys every single day, yeah? I mean, guess what? I mean, guess what? I mean, some people are very stupid. You understand? I mean, they want to watch wrestling all day long. I mean, yeah? You want to watch tennis as well? You want to watch tennis all day long. I mean, you never want to have a wife or kid. You never want to have Jesus Christ in your life. I mean, guess what? You never have to have a wife or kid in your life. I mean, don't you want to learn something? You want to watch tennis. You want to watch Nadal. And I mean, you want to watch that all day long. I mean, how boring is that? That's so boring. And so, guess what? I mean, focus on understanding to never be boring. I mean, guess what? I mean, they go to the actual car races as well. And then, I mean, they hear that and they watch it every single weekend. I mean, big deal, man. I mean, big deal. I mean, what's so good about a motor car race? You know, I understand? I mean, who won? I mean, who cares? I mean, who cares who won? I mean, guess what? I mean, that individual won, but look at the individuals that lost in that race. I mean, what's the big deal? I mean, one winner and 50,000 losers. I mean, how do you explain that? I mean, you find that exciting? You find that exciting when Manchester United goes and plays Liverpool, yeah? Or when it's the soccer team versus soccer team, and then half the stadium is punching all of the other stadium? You find that exciting, huh? You find it good when they rev up the nice beautiful torch in terms of the fireworks, and they're shining it like this at the soccer game, and they're throwing it on the stage, and they're throwing it at other people. You find that funny, huh? You must understand, every single day, that no matter what, that when you go and really do something much better for yourself like this, you must understand that no matter what, that I see people, for example, I mean, guess what they're doing as well? I mean, they make $20,000 at the 9-to-5 job, and they put $50,000 in their car, man. I mean, yeah. I mean, your car's so important, huh? I mean, you make $20,000 in your lifetime in terms of the year. I mean, your whole year. You work for you work for $20,000 in the whole year, and you work 400 hours to get that money. But then $15,000 going into the car, mate. I mean, yeah. I mean, is your car really that important, huh? Oh, you're right. Or you want to listen to that all that long, right? I mean, guess what? I mean, every single day you must understand the mindset, mate. You must understand what's important in life. You must understand that every single day, that if you just go and focus on better aspects of life, you're just going to make yourself smarter. You understand? Because what's smarter in life is understanding that if you're going and doing anything around yourself, that you go and really understand that you never go have sex with animals either. You must understand that if you go have sex with animals, I mean, how does that feel in life? I mean, you must understand every single day that if you go and realize that every single time you're going to go and dwell upon you, and you're going to understand you're going to move into a better aspect of mind all the time, because consciousness is going to tell you, hey, you deserve it. You deserve a greater life for yourself. I mean, why do you want to repeat the same words all the time? I mean, go and really dwell upon a better life and forget about it. You understand? But if you understand that no matter what, that if you're always having sex with donkeys, mate, I mean, how does that feel, mate? I mean, you understand? I mean, how does that feel? I mean, if you're always having sex with dogs all the time, I mean, how do you feel about that? You understand? I mean, do you go borrow dogs from the? I mean, do you borrow dogs from the thing? I mean, do you go borrow dogs from the actual dog pound to go have sex with them? I mean, do you understand? I mean, how does that actually make you laugh? I mean, that's sad, isn't it? I mean, guess what? I mean, it's really that it's good. I mean, everything's good. But guess what? I mean, Jesus Christ says and God says that this world is good. You understand? So that's it. But what you need to realize is never go to a dog pound to start having sex with dogs and 5-10 dogs in your house. You understand? I mean, come on, have a life for yourself. I mean, does Jesus Christ do? I mean, does Jesus Christ do? I mean, does Jesus Christ do? I mean, guess what? I mean, come on. I mean, you understand? I mean, focus upon understanding what Jesus Christ does is what you must do. You understand? I mean, isn't that the best road in life? I mean, focus upon understanding that you have to go and learn something every single day. I mean, you have to question everything in life. You have to question everything. And now focus upon understanding that there's so much to do and so much to say. But if you just go and focus on your life daily, you're going to understand that no matter what, you're going to have fun in your videos. You're going to give comedy. You're going to understand how to understand your life. I mean, I understand every single day that many people are killing non-human animals today, and they're killing the whales, and they're killing the tigers, and they're going extinct. I mean, the tigers and the whales, in terms of the blue whales, are going extinct today. Understand? Because people are killing them. I mean, to eat them. I mean, why do you want to do that? You understand? I mean, you have to stand up for being vegan. You understand? You have to be vegan. Because if you're a meat eater, I mean, that's 99% of the world today. In 2021. Watch now. You must understand that 99% 99.8%, and I mean 99.8% of the world is eating meat today. In the world of 2021, I'm the one who is 0.02% of the world who is vegan. You understand? So I'm the part of the 15 million people in the planet who is vegan out of the 7.8 billion. You understand? I promise you, although that we're just a small minority of people who believe in a better world. You understand? Promise now, who else can top us? I mean, we at least have a greater consciousness than people. I mean, we have a better. We have better deals in life. You understand? I never have to kill a pig anymore. I never have to kill a cow anymore. I have more respect for the cow now. I have more respect for dogs. I have more respect for non-human animals. I never have to kill ants anymore. I never have to kill anything anymore. You understand? Because I was killing people. Because of I was never killing people. You must understand. I was killing the animals, in a sense, because I was eating meat. I was taught like that. I was taught by people to kill ants and to kill everything. You understand? I mean, guess what? I mean, that's why I was taught. I was teaching myself that because I was grabbing those ideas from people. You understand? I mean, that's my decision making back then. But I understand either way that you have to move forward regardless. And then guess what? I mean, every single day, focus upon understanding that if you're eating meat today, I mean, how can you accuse me of anything? You understand? I mean, how can you accuse me of that? You must understand, I grew up in an eating family of meat. You understand? I mean, guess what? I mean, every single day, focus upon understanding that you are not anything other than you today. You must understand that every single day that if you're just yourself today, you have to be at fault with yourself. You have to be at fault with yourself, and then you have to take responsibility and say, hey, I have no faults. You have to say, I have no faults in life. But you have to understand that if you go really, really understand every single day to focus on taking more responsibility is what I'm saying. You have to find yourself taking responsibility for everything in life. But I understand every single day, and no matter what, that you guys just enjoy your day and focus on just lifting yourself all day long, because you're somebody who's worth it. And if you're worth it today, I need you to understand that the I word is everything. Understand? So just focus upon the word I, and then you'll love your life.